Welcome to another episode of Infographic Instant. This is your host, Brian Michael, and in today's episode we're going to be looking at the question, does corruption actually encourage customs officials to put up barriers to trade? In this series of infographics, we've been looking at the relationship between customs administrative capacity, trade facilitation, and corruption in a customs agency. And so we've been asking ourselves, well, what exactly is the relationship between customs and trade facilitation? In theory, if we facilitate trade, if we make it easier for importers to bring in goods with fewer documents stamped and fewer visits to the customs office, then in theory that should reduce corruption because there's less opportunities to collect bribes. But this relationship might also work in reverse. Namely, if corruption is reduced in a customs agency, then perhaps that encourages trade facilitation. In this story, customs officials actually create roadblocks in order to solicit bribes. They purposely drag their feet in order to encourage importers and other traders to pay money in order to speed up their consignments. Does this view have any validity in the data? Now, turning our attention to the infographic, we see that there is a positive relationship between perceived corruption and regulatory trade barriers, particularly in trade. We took this infographic from a section of the paper which describes the relationship between trade facilitation and corruption, and particularly looks at this opposite causality, namely the extent to which corruption, widespread corruption in a customs agency, hinders customs agency directors' attempts to put in place trade facilitation measures. And so this is one illustration out of many we use that suggests that the best type of trade facilitation program might actually be an effective anti-corruption program. This is Brian Michael with Infographic Instant.